Okay, so we're moving on to this thing called Google Analytics. Now, Google Analytics comes free with Google if you have a Google account. So if you do not have one, this first little section just basically talks about make sure you go in and create an account. I think probably I would say most folks do have a Gmail account, so they probably already have a Google account at some point. If you don't, you just need to go in there and do that. And what you'll do is actually go to this website. I can find a link. Come on, where's the link? Over here, right at the beginning. So it's basically called Google Analytics. So you just go sign in and click this Google Analytics. And what you have to do is you're trying to keep, so let's go back over here to the book, and it says, one of the most popular methods for tracking the statistics is Google Analytics. And what it says is determine how to handle different browser issues. You need to understand your visitors. To do that, you need to look at your statistics. Now we're talking about users coming to your page, how long they stay, basically what do they do while they're in there. Those types of things are very, very important to a lot of different websites, especially commercial websites. What are folks doing in your web page when they go there? And we can get a lot of those analytics from Google through Google Analytics. So anyway, so once we're there, what you can do is you can click on this admin, and you will go ahead and click on, under property, you will click on create a new property, and there you will then type in a website. Okay, or you can actually track a mobile app as well. So you click on website, you type in the website name, you type in a URL, you type what there's a category of automotive and beauty and fitness and finance and games and law enforcement, so on and so forth. So you basically then pick one of those types of items. You tell them what your time zone is, because that's important as well, because they need to know when is it evening where you're at, when is it during the day, when is it middle of the day, that type of thing. And then you go ahead and you can get a tracking ID, so you can actually then track you get this ID and you can put it in there. I can't remember what that guy does for us. They probably won't let me go there until I type this stuff in. So anyways, so again, I've already got a couple of pages that I've put in for some of my personal websites. So I click on home, and so I have, this is my personal website, and this is a website that I have with a group of motorcycle riders that we ride with. We're not a gang. We're not a motorcycle gang, so don't even think about that. We're not one of those Sons of Anarchy or like that. We're probably more like Sons of Technology. Anyways, so if you click on it, now the very first thing you have to do once you get there, so once you create this page, the one thing you'll need to get is, I probably went past it, but it gives you some code that you need to put in your website. So let me go there for a quick visit to show you what I mean by that. Oh, I got fat fingers tonight. So I log into my code, and so I'm going into my website here, and again, I've already added the code. Now, if we look into the scripting area, we can see that I have this script from here to here, and this is what I got from Google Analytics. So Google Analytics gave me this code, and it's tied to me. So this is what it needs to keep track of things. So as folks go to this website, this script will kick in and basically report back to the Google Analytics. Right here is this user ID thing that you can get as well. So that, I forget what it does, but anyways, that's really not in the book. But so we type all this data in. This is a screenshot of what the code looks like that you have to put in your website. So you put that in, And then you can basically see things like we see here. We got graphs to see how many visits we had on certain days. And we can see highs and lows. So probably, for example, this is probably a commercial site. We can probably see that these two bottom ones every so often are probably the weekend. We probably get more hits during the week than we do during the weekend, because most folks are basically looking and shopping online during the week. On the weekend, they're usually out doing something else, enjoying life, so to speak. And so we can see how many folks are new visitors and how many returning visitors. So as folks come to your website, and that can play very differently, because you would need to have cookies turned on to be able to find out if this person's been there before. A lot of folks like to clean those cookies up, so that could have an effect on that as well. We can also get things by a day. I can actually select a certain amount of time and get statistics on just that timing as well. So it says we can select the large date text in the upper right hand corner. In the bottom, select technology. The different browsers are listed, so now we can see what browsers folks are using when they come to our site. So in this particular one, we can see that over 1,600 of the folks are using Chrome, almost 1,200 using Firefox. The next is Safari, then Internet Explorer, then Opera, and then so on and so forth. And then it has a nice pie chart as well. So there's nice analytics there. We can also see the browser version. So in this case here, we are selecting, well, what version are we selecting here? Well, some browser, I don't know which browser it is. Is it the Chrome? It's probably Chrome. So these are all the different versions of Chrome that are being used. So it looks like a lot of folks need to probably update their Chrome and don't realize it. Going back to the profile to keep your site information in Google updated ensures that Google Analytics is gathering the right data. To update site information as it changes, follow these 4 steps. Click the profile name. Select profile settings from the navigation submenu. Make updates to the information and select apply. Okay. So select on the profile name. Okay. And then it says make updates to the information. I don't see any way to make updates to the information here. I don't see any need to. Okay, so I can change, I guess I can change this information here. Profile setting, am I in the right place? I think this is probably the versions have changed since the book. So there's probably a lot of differences that Anyways, yeah, so it looks as though there's a little difference there. So go in the navigation submenu. Yeah, this looks nothing like that page. So yeah, I don't see anything there. So oh, it looks like bounce rate, whatever that is. You'd probably have to click on that to basically. Bounce rate is a percentage of single page visits, i.e. visits in which a person left your site from an entrance page without interacting with the pages. Average session. One user. Yay! So apparently I just set those up today, so there's probably not a whole lot of going on there. So now So next thing we have to do is figure out how we set things up for a lot of different browsers and mobile devices. Because in today's world, we not only have just browsers, but we also have tablets and smartphones. And with the smartphones, we have iOS, we have Android, we have Windows. So we have all these different things out there that look at the GUI a little differently across the board. So it says browsers have their own internal style sheets, which designers use to render basic default styles. So if we look right here, this is Internet Explorer, and this is Firefox. Now they look somewhat similar, but notice the bullet points are a little different. It looks as though that the spacing might be a little different as well. So one way to address browser inconsistency is to remove all CSS properties to 0. This is done through a CSS style sheet known as CSS reset, like the one pre-made for Yahoo. So what we can do is this. Link blah 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 blah, and basically CSS reset-min.css. So if we look on this little link right here, we can put that in the top of our code, and when we get done, it will basically look like this. So we've just reset our CSS. And then what's really neat is we've got this thing called normalize. Now what normalize will do for us, it would allow us to get kind of a standard style sheet that fits everything. It fits Firefox and Chrome and Opera and Safari and Android and iOS and all of them. So it's kind of a nice general. And if we go to this site right here called normalize.css, we go here, we can actually download this guy, and what I've done is I've actually put it out there on the in Joule, and if you go to Chapter 4 stuff, I do have what is called a normalized CSS. If you click on it and open it up, this is basically what the CSS has inside of it. Again, this is what I downloaded from that website. And what you can then do is this. I go here to, I think it's example 2. Is that what it is? Okay, so that's not it. Let me go. Yeah, I think this is it. So if I go over here and I look at this CSS, I have the style and I have normalize. So I think right now this example is at normalize. If I actually look at the page source, yeah, it's at the CSS normalize. So this is basically a normalize. So again, this web page will work almost everywhere. Should. And that's what the normalized CSS does. And again, you might need to go out to that website every now and then and download the latest and greatest code. But this is kind of a nice way to always make sure that your web pages go everywhere. Now it limits you. It doesn't let you use a lot of the latest and greatest cool stuff that browser has, but it's basically there. So we're going to